I'm James Spann. This is the afternoon edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Wednesday, the 30th of June. Can you believe it? We are one-third of the way finished with meteorological summer already for 2010. It's racing along, and today we've got dry air just north of us and a hurricane approaching the northeast coast of Mexico. Let's take a look out the window with some Skycam shots. First off, coming from Birmingham, very heavy rain falling just north of downtown, up around Fultondale, Gardendale, where they've got some minor flooding issues up there. At the moment, downtown Birmingham is dry. We'll go down south. That is a wet look at the Gulf of Mexico. Seas are up a little bit. That's a large circulation with Alex down there. And while there's no direct impact on the Gulf Coast and no storm surge, you can see the weather is not good. A deep tropical layer, and with an approaching front, the weather down there is going to be unsettled for the next several days, including the 4th of July weekend. Not that it's going to rain the whole time. I mean, I'd go on down there, but it's going to look like that fairly often. And from Fayette up in northwest Alabama, the sky cloudy there. Here's a water vapor satellite shot. You can see that Alex is kind of dominating the circulation. That thing is approaching the coast of Mexico, south of Brownsville, Texas. Drier air lurking just north of Alabama. Nice trough over the northeast, and pretty decent chance we will see a drier series of days ahead for the northern half of the state. And hey, look at this. Nobody in the 90s at 2 o'clock. Haven't seen that in a long time. Numbers vary from 81 in Birmingham to 89 in Montgomery. And the radar. You can see those heavier downpours just north of downtown Birmingham. Got a pretty decent thunderstorm out around Altoona, west of Gadsden. Very heavy rain falling just west and north of Demopolis. Heavy rain falling down there in parts of Talladega and Clay counties, and also through Randolph and Chambers counties of East Alabama. But notice how the Tennessee Valley is dry, and that dry air is sagging south. On the watch warning map, of course, all of the serious weather is tied in with Alex. Flash flood watches, hurricane warnings up in effect down there, and this tornado watch until 8 o'clock tonight. That was up this morning at 10:45, and you can see the center of Alex on the radar imagery there, approaching the Mexican coast. Looks like it's going to come inland really this evening, a little faster than scheduled. Here's a look at our day one convective outlook. A slight risk near the landfall point or just north of the landfall point over South Texas, and also a slight risk up north over parts of Montana, Idaho, and North Dakota. Day two, tomorrow, slight risk again for parts of Montana and North Dakota. And day three, same spot up there. QPF chart. Wet is the word. The bullseye just inland over northeast Mexico, south of the Rio Grande. How about 15 inches of rain there? And look at that, 9 inches south of Lake Charles, and numbers pretty high for the Alabama Gulf Coast. And again, that is not a direct impact of Alex, but the deep marine layer that's come up, combined with a stall front just north of the Gulf Coast, should set the stage for pretty wet conditions for the rest of this week and the weekend. That map, valid, by the way, is valid through Monday morning at 7. There's Alex. Pretty decent-looking hurricane there. Top winds 85 miles per hour. Moving northwest at 12. Should be inland this evening. There's the radar coming from Brownsville. And again, you can see the center of circulation down there in the lower part of the screen, and very, very heavy rain falling all across the valley. Harlingen, McAllen, Brownsville. Some folks up there could go over 8 inches of rain. Possibility of a few tornadoes in those spiral bands. And needless to say, it's pretty breezy. There's the track coming in this evening, and hurricane warnings from Baffin Bay south. And the system will dissipate over the mountains of northern Mexico before the week is over. We'll check the GFS. This is the 12Z run, valid at 1 o'clock tomorrow. And again, pretty high amplitude pattern over the continent. Of course, the westerlies are north of here. But the 594 heat bubble runs from Memphis back up to Des Moines, trough on the East Coast, and that's helping to drive the cold front down to near Montgomery. This run looks dry for the northern half of the state. You know, we've been spinning it that way in the forecast. Pretty much rain-free conditions tomorrow and Friday, and this run kind of verifies that. Most of the showers tomorrow should be from roughly US 80 south or south of a line from Demopolis to Montgomery and Opelika. Same thing Friday. Wet weather on the coast, extreme South Alabama. Saturday, starting off the holiday weekend. I guess folks take Monday off, trying to figure out when the holiday is, since the 4th is on Sunday. Whatever. Most folks will take a long weekend. Much of Alabama dry except the Gulf Coast. Same thing on Sunday. Moisture confined to the southern third of the state, mostly south of Montgomery. I'm telling you, North Alabama, including Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Anniston, Gadsden, could go dry tomorrow all the way through the weekend. And Monday of next week, the westerlies are again well to the north. Winds aloft are light and variable, and we are in relatively dry air. Same thing Tuesday. Same thing Wednesday. We note lower surface pressure off in the Atlantic, and again, we'll have to watch for some homebrew type tropical system over there. But quite frankly, if you take this run on face value from Interstate 20 north, it's not going to rain tomorrow all the way through Wednesday of next week. Now, I wouldn't bet the farm on that. This is summer, and we all know that moisture is pretty close, but sure looks relatively dry. And temperature's not that bad. Highs, upper 80s, maybe low 90s at times, but certainly nothing excessively hot. Check the end of the month, or not the end of the month, into the forecast period, July the 16th. And that's a pretty standard look, ridging all across the deep south, and that suggests kind of warm and muggy conditions with some risk of maybe an afternoon shower in spots. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog. The next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And if you're local to us, we invite you to watch us on television this evening, ABC 3340 in Birmingham at 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, and God bless.